Yeah, honestly, there's also been a change.org petition going around of like them getting a fair trial with like this new evidence.
We
So
need change.org petitions don't do anything, guys.
that's your opinion.
No, every day I see a change.org opinion to fire a housewife, and I'm like, guys, these don't do anything.
That's a different category though. Like that is just
But a change.org petition is not going to get the city of Los Angeles to reevaluate this case, but new evidence is. And so that's why we're finally moved. But I love that everybody is such a social justice warrior on change.org.
It's the Pop Report. So juicy.
hey, Miss Parking Lot.
What's up?
You know, I still can't get over your comments from last episode of you claiming you've gone to multiple lot pump parking lot pumpkin patches.
That's where they have them. That's how you do it in LA. When you're a city kid, you go to the parking lot and they have a pumpkin patch that they set up there.
And how many pumpkins do you get at the parking lot in your day and age?
I mean, you generally get like one pumpkin. You go and you take the photo, the pictures, and you do all the things.
You know what's fucking weird in LA?
What's
You like
fucking weird in LA?
you carve a pumpkin, 3 days later it's like bye. It's like good luck. So
because it's a vegetable.
I thought you were gonna say it's a veteran. I was like, it's a
No.
veteran. It is in the armed forces. It has served and protected our people every
It's a
fall.
vegetable. Any vegetable that you carve is gonna go bad in a couple of days if you leave it out.
In the East Coast, though, that shit is up. Like that shit stays. Like she is there for at least a good 3 weeks.
Well, because it's cold.
That too, but also like just built different. I don't know. Where do we import our pumpkins from? That's where I want to know. That's all.
The pumpkin patch.
We import them from the parking lots to
From the farms. The pumpkin farm. They have
the
to be
Budweiser
farms.
farm. The Budweiser farm north of LA.
The farms. They have Budweiser
Anyway.
farms. I was a
I
very
am giving you false information. Anyway, how are you? What's new?
amazing, great, so good, never better. Oh my
You're
god.
you're making fun of me because I said that you say fine a lot and things are just fine for you, and you're like my mother. Like
Because you
it's
know
fine.
what?
I'm
It's
like,
just
it's not
it's
great.
been a very fine year, and when it's a great day, I will gladly
will
say,
let me
Andy,
know.
it is a great day.
You will sit me down and say, Andy, I got this thing on QVC. It was a great day. I went for a scone.
Who shops on QVC?
It just sounds like people who would say it's been a great day.
I'm not shopping on QVC, I'll tell you that.
Neither are you, and you're welcome for it.
Are
We
you
have
a
a lot of.
QVC bitch?
My grandmother was. She's still alive. She does not shop at QVC anymore.
Well, because nobody shops at QVC anymore. The same reason nobody watches SNL anymore. It's out of date.
You know, I don't want to go work in Pennsylvania just to work at QVC, and I've gone for those auditions before for QVC. They want you there 100%.
It's still on QVC?
Yes,
Who
ma'am.
is shopping on QVC these days?
Who has money? Lots of people. A lot
But
of
like,
people do.
do something interesting with your money. Don't shop on QVC. You can't even see it. You don't even know what you're getting.
Yes, you can. Oh my goodness, we have other stories to get to than your nonsense. We have some hot in the headlines today.
Do
in today's
we?
podcast.
For once, we actually have something hot in the headlines this week.
Something hot has actually walked into the villa, and it's not Zack.
It's about damn time. It's hard carrying all the hotness on this show.
Well, what is in our hot in the headlines, Zack?
Well, I was actually pulling up some photos of me at the pumpkin patch, Andrew.
Oh my God, before we even get to what's important and pressing, you're like, I'm pressed trying to get a photo of me in the parking lot.
Look at,
Oh my God, when was this? Last year?
yeah.
You look four. This is not last year.
Hello, it's me.
You look like a mom trying to present like
I
a
was
PowerPoint.
wondering. I know. I was wondering if after all these years you'd like
You
me.
know,
See,
you
this
don't look
looks
happy.
like you, because it's called a somber look. I'm looking off into the distance.
Okay,
As
don't
if like
act like you
Dallas.
knew what you were doing at 4 years old because you were just as confused being there you were anywhere else.
Listen,
Anyway, you look cute, but you look sad.
Look at, and I'm wearing the same shirt that you were wearing. I'm supposed to look sad, Andy. You're not supposed to look happy in the fall. You're not happy until it's Christmas time. In the fall, you're supposed to play sad Taylor Swift music and Adele music, and then come
Bitch, you didn't know
Christmas
shit
time,
about this when you were 4. This was all
it's about
preconceived.
the vibes, Andy. I knew the vibes at this age, and the vibe is saying somber, sad girl fall.
The parking lot doesn't say that, so let's
Look,
get
and
back into our hot in the
it has
headlines.
the same outfit that you were wearing on Wednesday's episode of the podcast.
Oh, that has real denim. Mine was fake.
Well, you were serving all right.
And serving some hot cup of cider tea.
Hot
I
apple cider.
I see in our hot in the headlines we have some news about the Menendez brothers.
Yeah, so it was breaking news last night on TMZ. Last night is in Thursday evening. Thursday
Back to other
afternoon.
things. The pivot you did is hard. I just have to admit that. You were from pumpkin patch back to like, I'm present.
Well, I was just taking your lead with hard pivots. So the Menendez. So we finally have a trial set. It's official now.
Oh,
They announced today. They had a press conference. Gascon here in Los Angeles had a press conference, and I was watching the live stream, and he had a lot to say. He's not very good at public speaking. I'll tell you that. I don't know how
Some
we
people
voted
can't
him into
be.
office. But so anyway, he announced that because obviously the brothers' attorneys filed to have the case reevaluated now that new evidence had come to light. The new evidence being a letter that was written by one of the boys way back in the day that's now been found, and then they have one of the Menudo not cast members. It was a boy band. So
Boy
what do you
band.
call them? One of boy band members. So one of the boy band members has also claimed that they were assaulted by the Menendez father, and so Jose Menendez is his name, right? And so now with this new evidence, the city of Los Angeles is going to investigate it, or at least review the evidence, and there's going to be a hearing at the end of November, which is right after Thanksgiving, now that I think about it. Interesting time. But so they're going to review the new evidence and then determine whether or not there's going to be a new trial or whether or not there's going to be a new sentencing. And so if there's a new trial, what they're hoping for is that they get a conviction of manslaughter. Because obviously in the original trial, or well, the second trial that happened, because the first time it was a mistrial and then the second trial was what put them in prison, there was evidence about the assault allegations from their father with the boys that they weren't allowed to discuss in the second trial. So because of that, now they're going to reintroduce that if there is another trial, or they may just update the sentencing. But we'll find out what that determination will be come November 28th.
Yeah, honestly, there's also been a change.org petition going around of like them getting a fair trial with like this new evidence.
We need change.org petitions don't do anything, guys.
That's your opinion.
No, every day I see a change.org opinion to fire a housewife, and I'm like, guys, these don't do anything.
That's a different category though. Like that is just.
But a change.org petition is not going to get the city of Los Angeles to reevaluate this case, but new evidence is. And so that's why we're finally moved. But I love that everybody is such a social justice warrior on change.org.
Well, I will read you how many signatures have come in on this change.org thing. But if I can find it, that is my first thing, but it is not coming through.
All the people that think that they've helped in this case and they have not.
Well, don't be rude. So,
You know who did help in this case is Ryan Murphy, who says that this is the best thing that has ever happened to them.
Anyway, 400,000 people have signed this change.org petition that has called for an appeal for people who have been, trying to fight this since 2019. But obviously because of monsters and more, it brought over 60,000 new signatures to the petition.
Thank you, Ryan Murphy.
So yes, people are talking about it. Maybe they're not the best. Like, what's the phrase? Any press is good press. They always say that. But we're about to have obviously the documentary come out that talks about everything that happened and more that is, tied in with this release. But that is quite the news.
Did you finish Monster?
I have not.
Are you going to finish Monsters?
I would like to.
Have you
Monsters.
Have you gotten to episode 5 yet?
Which one is that? I feel like, yeah, I have, but like,
It's apparent. Well, I haven't gotten that far yet, but it's the one that everybody says is like this is when it gets good. I think that's when the abuse allegations actually come out against their father. Um, and the more I dig deep into this, like it's not just the sexual allegations. It's like a lot of different abuse that was going on at that time from their father, and like he was
Hmm.
involved in a lot of dark stuff that even involves the Menudo boys, and
Hmm.
it's really dark.
Yeah, I've just been watching episode after episode. So it, yeah, has been, I can't tell you what episode I'm on, but
Yeah,
I agree with all of that.
I think I'm on like
Um,
episode 3, but I did finish the Kristen Bell show.
oh, you fucking love that rabbi.
No, I don't. I don't know how to feel about the rabbi. You have to watch this show so that you can understand the level of the range of emotions that I'm going through with this show. Because for most of the show, I'm also slightly
You
offended.
text me every time. I
I
know.
know. I'm slightly offended though because people were DMing me and they're just like, "Oh my god, the Kristen Bell character is so you because she's a podcaster and she has terrible, picks in men and she, her dating life is a disaster and then she talks about it on her podcast and she's afraid of men." And I'm just like, I don't need to hear this anymore. I don't need to be the Kristen Bell of this world, but I warned her not to trust
Mm.
him because he happens to be not only a rabbi, which I'm not against the rabbi part, but he happens to be a man, and men should not be trusted.
You do live your life vicariously through the comments of the internet, so I should not be surprised when I say that I'm not surprised of you hearing about these people in your DMs about this and that you're influenced by it.
I'm not influenced by. I'm surprised by it, but I'm not influenced by it.
Mm, okay. Well, in other news, what else is in our hot and headlines, mister?
Oof. Well, since we like the hot breaking news, Garth Brooks is in some hot water this week.
That just broke a little bit ago and it's on every homepage.
Literally everything. Oh my god, my coach keeps calling me because they want me to participate in regionals. It's like the fourth call. I'm
Not the
like,
time. We're talking
I'm
about Garth Brooks.
recording. Garth Brooks has been accused of assault, and I'm trying to think of like the YouTube friendly term for this.
Hmm.
Grapes. He's been accused
Yes.
of he's been accused
Yes.
of popping some grapes
Yes.
because there was this makeup artist that he was working with. I believe she started working with him back in 2017. So these allegations are coming out of 2019. We don't know who this makeup artist is specifically. We do know that this makeup artist, presumably a woman because she goes by Jane, not Jane Doe, Jane.
Jane Doe is the
No, 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 no.
technical
But
term to
she doesn't
save.
go. I know, but she doesn't. Jane Roe is how she's referred to herself.
Mm,
Jane Roe. And so Jane Roe, previously worked for Garth Brooks' wife back in the late 90s. She was,
okay.
I guess, a makeup artist or hairstylist for her then. And so now she was recently working with Garth Brooks and is now accusing him of, multiple different types of assault and I guess just misconduct because a lot of the allegations are like he would just walk around the room naked and he would just be fully exposed, or he would come out of the shower and he would expose himself to her. He made really inappropriate comments, and then there is an incident where they were flying together. I think it was for um, a Grammys performance that he had to give, and she said
Hmm.
that it was during that time that he really crossed the line with her and, went all the way. He responded to this when it was initially filed, and he responded under John Doe because he didn't want it to come out that he, was the one that was being accused of this because they didn't want it to leak in the
Hmm.
press. So his response was under John Doe, and he was claiming that she is doing this in retaliation because she asked to become an employee versus an independent contractor, and she was asking for benefits with her job, and when he denied that, that's when she went and then made these claims against him. So that's kind of where it's at right now. It's just breaking.
Wow.
We'll see where it goes, but he's denying the allegations.
Well, as this goes, in any single-handed case, more people might have something to say or
Yeah.
about the behind-the-scenes behavior, and this will just continue to go on until someone drops or someone settles. this type of stuff probably won't go to court, most likely, in my opinion. There probably will be a settlement of some sort and an apology. And then we might have more people, though, who, if contracted for said person, or when we have this type of allegations like this, when multiple people are involved, then we'll probably see some sort of court filing or unlawful conduct. And if there was a business management in place that regulated the contractors, then there might be a whole thing that goes down then. We don't obviously know. And I feel like every time these come up, they're like a coin toss of like, it may go A or B. Like it may be quick and swift, or it may be coming out hard with more.
Yeah.
So it's
We'll have
unfortunate to hear.
wait and see now that the story is broken if anybody else comes forward and has anything else that they want to add. I mean, especially since he's claiming that she's only doing this in retaliation. That would be very quickly proven wrong if more people come out with their experiences
Right.
as well.
Yeah, and if also she can prove that she had no beneficial gain
Yeah.
to bring out any of this stuff, and if also this is from what was it the 90s, 2000s, or is this like a recent?
She started working for him in 2017, and this happened in 2019.
Got it. So the other part too, when these come up, is okay, if this is so long ago, why file now? Or what is your motive right now? And so if she can prove that she is in a better state than what she was and didn't need anything to gain from this, then most of these times too, people just settle and they say, all right, cool. Like, unfortunately, this happened. Let's figure out something that makes both parties happy. But maybe his side will try to say, like, retaliation in the ways that she wasn't able to get from being a contractor. And she's trying to look for some financial benefit right now if she is not in the best financial shape. We will see. We will see.
We will see, but that's what's hot in the headlines this week. I think we have some music news, though, right?
We do. We have a couple of different things, from Gaga to JoJo to Kesha to Motley Crue. But I don't know if you saw, Eminem has announced his first grandchild. Yes, Eminem's going to be a grandpapa in his new music video, but you're the Eminem fan, right?
Yes, and I actually really like this song from Eminem. I don't love most of the album, but there are some good songs on it. This one's really good, and he sang this one at, what was the recent award show that we had where Katy Perry was awarded?
The VMAs.
It was the VMAs, yeah. So he performed this song, Temporary, at the VMAs, and it's a song that he wrote about his daughter, Haley. And it's actually a really cute music video. It's a bunch of like old footage from when she was growing up, like a bunch of home videos. And then he also cuts in different videos from her wedding because she got married recently. And then towards the end of the video, I guess that was like an iPhone that she had recorded this piece where she comes out and she's like, I have an announcement for you. And he's like, okay, what's the announcement? And it's a jersey. And she opens up the jersey and it says Grandpa on it. And he's like so happy because like now he's like, oh my God, my baby girl's now having a baby. Like she just got married and like, it's whole thing. And then it's cute that like he put this montage together as the music video, since the song is dedicated to her and it's about her and how much, he regrets things that he did when she was growing up, whether it was his struggles with addiction or having to prioritize his career. That's something that's obviously always a challenge when you're in Hollywood and you also have kids. 'Cause sometimes when you're a single parent, you got to work and you got to do what you got to do. But at the
You
same
and your
time,
two dogs, you get it. You get it. Single mom working 72 jobs.
single mom who works 2 jobs, who loves her kids and never stops. I'm a survivor.
Survivor in the pumpkin patch coming in hard.
Yeah.
In other news, in the music realm, we do have Kesha in an interview with Elle magazine saying that she dumped her previous boyfriend because she thought he was a star fucker. So, for those of you who may not know, Miss Kesha just put out Joyride a little while ago. And so
Joyride.
I will not agree with a statement I heard from a friend saying this sounds like polka music. And if you can think and sit with that background is polka music. The beginning, it's like
Joyride.
it's fine.
Ride.
It's
Joyride.
fine. Sounds like gospel polka, you
It's
know? Like,
weird. It's
but
funky.
she came out to Elle and said that she was actually dating someone, and she's been linked to two people previously, but she did not name who this was. So people can assume that it's been the previous people she has dated as of late or in the past, but she was invited to a Taylor Swift party, and she had an inkling that her boyfriend at the time was just dating her for the fame and the glitz and the glam, whatever. So she decided to, when she caught wind of this, bring a friend to the party instead. And she says the next day he broke up with her. And she's like, so I said, my self love journey should be about me, my own time. And that's where Joyride kind of came through of this, like, oh my God, I am the one, like taking my time, buying myself flowers. Like, I'm looking for a good time for me. And so, whoever you are, I don't know if you know that that song's kind of like indirectly about you, but it's interesting and I find it funny. But also, which Taylor Swift party? Because, like, I feel like she has a lot of parties.
And were there freak offs there?
No, that don't spread that one. Don't spread that.
We
Don't
don't
spread her.
know. We didn't know about Diddy until now. Which, by the
We
way, there's
Wendy knew. Wendy,
no, but hold
everybody
on.
knew
Everyone knew because there was an Eminem song since we were talking about Eminem. There's
the
an
P Diddy reference.
yes, with the Diddy reference where he was referring to him as a rapper, but he was spelling out the word rapper and he left one of the P's out. And then he's like, oops,
I didn't forget a P Diddy.
yeah, yeah. So,
I mean, a lot of people over the years have talked about that's a whole. We will continue to follow with that, but a lot of people are still coming forward, including now 120 people in that for our music news. If you haven't kept up with the Diddy, like allegations and more, but 120 people, minors involved, people had promises of record labels. It is just a magnitude of things that you can't like just how do you have this many people come forward and the power and the opportunity really silencing people, but I do not think there's any way Diddy's going to get out of this. But a lot of these tabloids lately keep putting out videos of Diddy and at his parties and what he says about women. And there's a clip I saw today of Diddy saying, every girl in this room better be lotioned up. Like, you need to have lotion on, like,
yeah.
all everywhere. And a lot of these people were like, okay, like, we should have seen the signs. Like, we should have, like,
Well,
it's
I mean,
all there.
the thing is, I don't think anybody would think that he would just be so blatantly open with it, right? Like there was even like I was watching a clip today where he was like accepting a speech and he was up there and he's just like, I want to thank one of my greatest sponsors, Johnson and Johnson, because he was referencing the baby oil, which we now know he had
Hmm.
boxes and boxes, he had 1,000 bottles of baby oil. Um, like it's just wild. It's just wild how open he was with all of this. But it's like when somebody jokes about that so openly, you don't think that they're being serious. And
I
now we
mean,
and now we know. And now
another
there's
music news.
yeah.
um, Aside from Diddy, obviously, which is going to keep coming back over and over again in our music news, we have new music coming out from a few people. JoJo is one of them. So
Leave, get out right now.
I
It's
was
the
waiting for you to
end
do
of
it.
you and me.
So she has new music. She is independent, and she is also coming off the fresh success of her New York Times bestselling memoir, Over the Influence.
She
But
wrote
this
a
is her first single in 3 years, and it's titled Porcelain. It just came out, and she said she feels liberated from it. But yes, it samples I Want to Rock, and it is like overall just her going back into music full fledged because she has, been kept in a contract deal for quite some time and more. But she
gotta
also
love
came
those
back.
contract deals.
Gotta love those contract deals. She also just had a run in Moulin Rouge the musical on Broadway, which ended July of 2023, and she was like, look, like I was charged up, I wanted to like get back into music. Lady Gaga also has music, but before we get into Gaga, JoJo's also, I think you put this in our notes, she's going on tour with Kesha.
So I misread that headline. So when I added this footnote, I thought we were
Girl.
talking about JoJo Siwa. Kesha's going on tour with JoJo Siwa, not with
Okay,
JoJo.
so wrong JoJo.
Wrong Joe. Well, I didn't think
Wrong
the other
wrong
JoJo
Joel
was
Kim
still
Booster.
relevant.
Wrong Joel
There's
Kim
only one
Booster.
JoJo that we're talking about these days, and it's not Joanne.
Not Joanne Fabrics. Well, good for them. Other news
JoJo
in the music
Siwa's going on
section.
tour. Yeah.
Yeah, Motley Crue is also having a residency. So is New Kids on the Block. But Motley Crue basically said in their latest announcement for it was like, you know, we made the wrong decision to retire 9 years ago. So they're back. I don't know who said they should come back. I've seen New Kids on the Block. It was fun.
You have?
I have.
Really?
It was New Kids on the Block, 98 Degrees, and Boys to Men.
That is
And
not
they're
your
like,
age demographic.
my stepmother brought me many years ago. So,
Got it. I've
but
been
I was a
to
big Enrique
so many
Iglesias
new
fan. So
kids. I've been to too many new kids concerts. I
sounds
was
like your
just at
alley.
one a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. But aside from residencies, we have Miss Gaga talking about her music, and everyone's obviously pressing for the music because of the new Joker release. But she put out her 6.5, what everyone's deeming it as her album that goes along, or I call a ride along album with the project. But she has said that Joaquin Phoenix has heard all of LG7. She's like, so if you want to get everything, you want to know about the album, just follow him around. Just follow him around. And I'm like,
Nobody asked for this album.
nobody asked Joaquin Phoenix.
I mean,
No, but like, don't go straight to Gaga. Just go back to her. Just
but
ask
like
her.
nobody cares about this album because it's like an album about the movie, right?
It's very showboaty. And
Yeah, I'm
to
good.
be candid, showboaty vodka, Gaga is very chess to me. And I would like more of like the fame monster where she is in her higher vocal range. And
On the bad romance.
that too. The jazzier side is not my fave of Gaga as much, and like the show tunes.
I'm giving
So
you a million reasons to quit the show. I'm
we don't
giving
count that
you a
album. We
million
don't count that
reasons.
album.
I got a
I
million
think this is
reasons.
like other people have said when Beyonce has released music under her like different projects, and like when Taylor has released certain projects, there's like an album that breaks the spell for some people. And I think Torture Postpartment broke a lot of Taylor people from being in the spell. I think honestly, Chromatica and Lady Gaga's 6.5, I think broke me out of being in this Gaga spell.
Well, like Cowboy Carter is what broke people out of Beyonce.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. I'm interested to see LG7, but I hope it's not another guitar that's just
And
sitting in the studio with it.
Smile broke Katy Perry.
I think that was Witness.
Witness is the one I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
Which,
Smile was just
oh, yeah.
the encore for Witness.
Yeah, I thought Smile came first, but you're right. Witness came before Smile. And that was the swish, swish, bish, right?
Oh, yeah. I saw her fresh out of that live stream house when she came and she performed in a football stadium after being locked away in that live stream house for like days. I saw her, short hair and everything. So
Yeah, not her best era. I was hoping this would be her comeback, but I don't think people like Katy Perry anymore. I
think
like
that's
Katy
good.
Perry, and I'm very much enjoying the new album. I like it. I know a lot of people don't, but I do.
It's got its moments.
I'm his queen. I'm his bitch. I'm a ride that day. How does it go? No. I'm
Almost.
his. He's mine.
A lot of samples. But anyway, off to the next subject. Watch or skip. Now, have you been keeping up with
The Kardashians.
everything in different? Have you been keeping up with the seasonal releases for holidays like Hallmark and like things coming up? Because I know we're in fall spooky season, and like we have movies and things coming out. Like we do have this new release from Sarah Paulson for Hulu, which is actually like something I might be covering for work. But she has a new movie that is coming out, and it's a horror thriller. And so it is something that is at least going to be interesting overall. It's called Hold Your Breath. And it's very much about like this dust bowl creature that gets you. So they have a release for that, like the release tomorrow. But overall, like I haven't seen too much in the spooky season stuff that's keeping me like interested, you know? But we do have already stuff coming out for Christmas, like releases and announcements. I don't know if you've been keeping up with this show that was announced like quite a while back, but Hallmark had revealed a dating show for finding their next movie lead called like Finding Mr. Christmas.
Dumb.
So at first, I thought it was going to be a dating series for men. And I was like, oh, this sounds very familiar. But they just released the cast for Finding Mr. Christmas, which is Hallmark's first ever reality competition series. And it premieres on October 31st. So this is why I want to bring this up. We have 10 people competing for a variety of challenges to be crowned Hallmark's next leading man and take home the title of Mr. Christmas. Would I want to watch that on Halloween? No.
No. You want to watch like classic Halloween movies. That's not what you want to watch on Halloween. That's dumb.
I mean, all the men do look good. Like Hallmark knew how to cast.
But like we want like Jonathan Bennett and like all these people that do these movies all the time. Like that's what we watch them for, to keep them relevant. You know, we want Lacey Chabert and Lindsay Lohan. Well, actually, I'll give it to Lindsay Lohan. She's no longer in that, you know, caliber. Like she's had to glow up. Have you seen her at the Balenciaga shows? She is killing it.
She's doing what she needs to do. But the last man standing will secure his spot as the leading actor in one of the Hallmark Channel's countdown to Christmas movies.
Next year?
Don't know, girl. Probably. Like, doesn't say, but most likely.
They should have brought back 12 Dates of Christmas. That was fun.
I feel like that flopped.
It did flop, but it was fun. It was like a fun concept. Like, I would love to do a 12 Dates of Christmas.
Funny enough, I knew some people who were actually on that show for the gay men's side, and a lot of the men actually said they really didn't like the lead contestant.
Yeah.
And said that he was horrible to work with and that all of their comments on camera got cut.
Oh.
They had a reunion, and all of their comments of them confronting him about how horrible he was and playing it up for the cameras was cut from the series. So a lot of things came up about that, but I think HBO really tried at the time to come into the dating realm of a reality show, but they're not known for reality, you know?
No, I mean, it was a very like unique concept that was, I don't know if people were ready for that sort, where you have like everyone's like all sleeping together in a house, you know?
I mean, I was going to say, are you ready for it? But that's different. Aside from that, speaking of reality, there's the new Love is Blind that is from where I grew up, DC. And so have you been keeping up with it?
It just premiered, and I'm surprised that all of the outlets are already putting out spoilers of who gets engaged. And I was like looking, I was like, wait, do I even want to watch this? Do I want to read these spoilers? I don't know if the Love is Island, or not, sorry, not Love is
Love is Island.
Love is Blind is gonna, like, last season was so good, right? And everybody was into it. Everyone was engaged because you had the villains, and it was just, and Jeremy, we had terrible Jeremy that everyone hated that I think is so hot, and I still DM him. I was DMing him the other day. And so, because, I mean, listen, I love a toxic man. And so, I don't know if it's gonna have that same, because remember we had Chelsea who looked like Megan Fox?
Yes.
So we had so many of those moments, and I just don't know if season 7 is going to be able to carry that on. Are you interested in watching this? Because, I mean,
I'm loved out. That's all I got to say. I'm very loved out. I've seen so much come and go from this, but like I don't need to see any more, in my humble opinion.
Yeah.
That's all. That's all. But yeah, I mean, obviously people love the franchise, but I'm like, do we need more of this? Do we need any more of this? I'm kind
You need
of
to know when to, like, you know,
when to gracefully bow out.
yeah, like Harry Jowsey.
Same but different. Well, on to other news.
Yeah.
Did you see that Paramount is being sued?
When aren't they? What's going on with Paramount?
Well, In our general news, Paramount is being sued by former workers who were in the mass layoff. They're claiming that in this new class action lawsuit filed in New York, the Paramount team or whoever it may be in charge of all things Paramount failed to give more than 300 employees a proper notice, which obviously we hear about layoffs. We hear about termination packages. Um, in this, there is a violation in the state of California for the Worker Adjustment and Retraining Notification Act. Long, but it requires at least 90 days of notice of a mass layoff. So the company denied this allegation, saying like Paramount employees entitled to federal or state warn notice receive it. But phase two of this, which we saw like a huge spew of cuts, had like a large amount of people affected. 90% of the layoffs have been completed, and the first round of layoffs took place earlier this month, or last month. So there's been like a lot of execs and more, but the lawsuit has a lot of employees that basically are looking for wages, salary, commissions, bonuses, accrued holiday pay, and benefits over a 60-day period that would have been paid out if Paramount complied with the law according to this complaint. So you're supposed to give this notice if you have X amount of employees or X amount you're laying off.
Yeah.
So when you hear like, oh, like layoffs happen, but it's like 2%, 5%, if it's over, I think 300 or I have to check what the actual number is. If it's over a certain threshold of employees, you have to give
Notice.
a bigger like time compensation package, so on and so forth. So,
I'm glad I don't
little
work
things.
for Paramount.
I know. So it says some states have stricter guidelines for employers. In California, any company with 75 or more workers requires notice for a layoff of 50 or more within a 30-day period. New York requires a third of the workforce, or at least 250 employees at a single site, for a notice as well. What wild times.
Wild times. Glad I don't.
I know we do silly bitch news, then this stuff comes in. I'm like, back to my legal brain and back to whatever this is.
Well, that's some
I don't know what's going to happen there. What would you think is going to happen next in one of these types of layoffs?
What do I think is going to happen to Paramount?
What do you think is going to happen with this overall?
I mean, people are going to be out of a job. I mean, we saw this happen, last year, 2022, 2023, when like Spotify did all the massive layoffs. I mean, I'm pretty sure they'll settle, pay off some of these employees. They probably knew that. And knew that they were going to pay less money in a settlement than they would have paid had they, done this the more savory way, but they chose the unsavory route. I mean, companies do stuff like this all the time, knowing that there's a potential. Like, they have big legal teams that weigh the options and be like, all right, well, we can do this and potentially get sued. And if we do, like, they already have it all. I'm pretty sure they have it all set up. But I mean, we saw this happen with Spotify a couple of years ago. I think didn't it also happen with like Netflix or like one of the big streamers? So it's just sign of the times,
Well, Paramount's been up and down. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, it hasn't been too strong lately, so I wouldn't envision them fully going the distance, even with this cut.
Will you go the distance?
But what's going on with Sydney Sweeney?
Well, my girl, she's doing exactly what I would do. Mm-hmm. So obviously there's a lot of discussion about Euphoria coming back, and she is opening up about the outfits from Euphoria because everyone's like, wow, Euphoria high, like, wow, like everything is very revealing and overall just different from what we're used to. So a lot of the cast has an out there outfit associated with a lot of scenes. So Sydney Sweeney in this interview said her Oklahoma outfit is something that has really resonated with her for a lot of people who know the series because of how she dressed and overall what she was wearing for her days in school. But she said in an interview that she did take some stuff from set, which anybody does, like everybody will take something, take it home, memorabilia. Surprisingly, she's like, I took the jeans. She's like, the jeans were tailored to you because they
Oh yeah.
obviously want to like highlight the figure of like the actors in high school. And she said because she is short and she has a hard time finding jeans and these were tailored to her exact body, she said, I really want to take them. And she took them.
Good
She
for
said she
her.
only took a few pair of garments, only a few, she said. And very interesting of all the things to take, the jeans in Euphoria.
I mean, listen, when you get tailored jeans and they fit just right, never wash them.
Voluptuous.
No.
Well, how about our couples corner? Speaking of other last news,
Yes, I did. You see that Millie Bobby Brown got married? She
I
had
thought, didn't she get married a little while ago?
She got married a little while ago, but now she's releasing the photos
Ugh,
from her actual wedding, which was in Italy. And everyone's talking about like the cake that she had, because I guess it's like this fancy TikTok bakery, and they like were doing something. They were like doing a presentation live, and like this company is known for like their specialty TikTok videos because it's not like they pre-bake the cakes. Like they do some sort of like
did they ship them out to Italy? Like, that's my question.
well, no, they part of the cake they do in front of you. Like there's like like a
Right.
show.
But like, are they based in the US and they're like, we're going to fly you to Italy?
I think they're actually Italian based because they said that they were the same caterers that covered Kim and Kanye's wedding when they got
Oh,
married in where did they get married? Belvedere? They got married somewhere in Italy.
love
Um
vodka.
yeah. And so yeah, I mean the wedding looked gorgeous. The photos are really pretty. They were talking about her dress and she looked very lovely.
She had a beautiful time. Very lovely, very quaint. She's married to John Bon Jovi's son.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Is he
Yeah.
going back on tour?
Don't know, girl. Just don't know. Hope he's doing well. He's been tame, right? He's Gucci. He's like level, like not like bad. I think.
I think so.
Well, I'll just say stay away from Garth Brooks. Anyway, have you seen this about Jennifer Aniston though being linked to Obama?
No, please explain this to me.
Right. So apparently, I've never known this. There's been this theory on the internet that Obama and Jennifer Aniston are obsessed with each other. Don't know why, don't know how. They're interested romantically to each other. And she says that she, on Jimmy Kimmel, has never met him.
Like never in her entire life?
Never. And she's like, I know more about Michelle than anything else. So that's all that
What?
story is. You know,
I
is
mean,
it
it's
is it
random.
a fun time?
Yeah,
Is it something I needed to know? But like people are obsessed over it. They're like Obama and Jennifer Aniston. I'm like, give her a rest. Like she's too busy getting fake oil
just
spilled on
random.
her on the side of the morning show. She also said a lot of people reached out to her after that incident saying, "Oh, like, are you good? Was that real? Was that for the show?" And she said, "Yeah, that was
Okay,
for the show."
there you go.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
I think that rounds out our episode. Is there anything else you'd like to get off your chest of your confessions since last episode you really, braved the world and told us about your pumpkin
Um,
lot confessionals,
oh,
your Lana Del Rey album?
no, I don't think I have any more confessions to make, but maybe I'll do some bad deeds over the weekend.
Don't de- don't do that.